Spoilers! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Immortal Cave and Sam We Trust.blogspot.ca. As usual, I will put a link to my blog in the description, and I swear to God, I'm actually going to try and do something with it now. I'm actually extremely surprised that I'm actually managing to pull this off. It has been a hell of a year, as it has been for most people, 2016, which has caused a lot of problems. Most of what I've been doing has strictly just been stuff for my my streams, because they're very easy to set up. I haven't really had time to really do something like this. In fact, I didn't even have time to do the Doctor Who Christmas special. I did watch it. It is okay. It is a Christmas special. It did the job okay. It did two things all right, which is A, it gave us that really kick-ass promo of season 10, and two, it at least slightly redeemed that guy that was in Dragon Ball Evolution. Anyway, but much like before when I did my American Horror Story season recap, I'm going to do the same thing for the series that you are currently seeing on your screen, which is something I want to get into a quick little description of before I get into my thoughts on the two episodes, which is how I discovered this series. The series, of course, I'm talking about is Assassination Classroom. This is a I don't get into anime very often. I don't get into television shows very often. But I really don't get into anime that often. Last big anime that I really tried to watch was Higurashi, which is a great series, by the way. But that was like, oh Christ, that was close to 10 years ago. Oh God, that was close to 10 years ago. Okay, sorry, just had a moment there. But between, first and foremost, game, the V-Jump game that came out for PS4, which is okay. A little weird, but okay. Between that and the a bit more recently, a Nate Wants to Battle song where he did the third opening to the series, started getting me kind of interested and kind of intrigued in this show, because I knew the concept, but very loosely. But I decided, after a friend of mine gave me the recommendation, to give it a shot. But I figure, you know what, it's no fun just doing it normally. Let's try it doing it like I did it with American Horror Story, recording my findings, placing them on the internet as my first reaction stuff. So, what do I think of this series so far after the first two episodes? First and foremost, wish they'd stop using the word tentacle so goddamn much. That's mildly distracting, actually. It's Japanese anime, I realize. Stuff like this happens, but it's, considering the connotations that it takes now, a little uncomfortable. Maybe that one's just me. In seriousness, though, so far I am enjoying it. How much I'm enjoying it? Well, how do I put this? The series is kind of giving off, again, this is just the first two episodes. The series is giving off this vibe of, like, it almost feels Danganronpa-ish, in the sense that it feels like there's going to be something that's going to twist this all around in the end. Now, again, I don't know anything of what's coming. I've seen stuff on this show before, but it's not something that I was really paying heavy attention to, and it wasn't really anything that I was looking up in order to spoil myself for it. I don't know what's going to happen. I might have seen in my periphery how the series ends, but I don't know it. It feels like that's the way it's going. Because the entire concept, for those who do not know, and if you'll excuse me, it's been a while since I've done this much talking into a microphone, so I'm going to take a quick drink of water. That tastes Pepsi, but never mind. the concept of the series is this creature. I always thought it was an alien, but apparently he's not. Shows up, this cephalopod, this face that you are currently staring at in my video, is Koro Sensei, which is play on unkillable, the Japanese word for unkillable, Koro Senai. Koro Sensei basically comes out of nowhere, and Dr. Eggman's the moon. He blows most of it up and says, I'm going to do that to Earth if you guys, if you don't let me do what I want. I'm still going to do it in a year, but I'm going to do it a lot quicker if you guys don't do what I want. What does he want? He wants to teach a third grade class in assassination techniques, try and see if they can kill him. This is one of those Japanese ideas that I'm not really sure what to make of, but I am very, very curious. And that, again, that's kind of why I got so into it, why I got interested in it, because the concept is very original, very interesting. I, where the interesting part really seems to come in is the characters, the students themselves. The only one whose name I can remember right now is Nagisa, who I'm just going to state this right now. Again, I don't have spoilers on this. Nagisa's a girl, right? Like, they keep saying it's a guy, but it's a girl, right? They have pigtails. If they're trying to hide it, they're doing a really, really poor job of it. And doesn't have the fact that the English voice actor is clearly doing that kind of I'm a girl doing a guy's voice kind of thing. Like, you hear it and you're just like, okay, yeah, that's what that is. But that seems to be where the focus is, and it seems to be like, it's almost like especially the second episode, Baseball Time, seems to be more of it seems to be almost going into like this odd like sports anime, like, you know, get the gang together and we can overcome anything, like one of those like really cheesy kind of like, you've been doing it wrong, look deep into your heart and you can succeed kind of crap. It seems like it's turning into one of those, at least with the second episode. Maybe it might be kind of a parody series, something closer to Excel Saga by the end of it, and it may do parodies of different series. I don't know. So far, I think it is going to stick to that though, where it's just kind of like Koro Sensei is proving to be this perfect teacher, but they have to kill him. And I don't know if the twist is going to end up being that he's just a normal guy in a suit, because all of this seems incredibly far-fetched. The only thing that's kind of hard to fake is obviously the moon. So there's that. And there's also the fact that it could just be like he's a normal human. He's just trying to get like the students to become better students by doing it his own very unique way. Or this is all just a ploy to make sure everybody likes him and he blows up the planet. I don't know where this is going, like I said. But generally speaking, what do I think of the episode? So first of all, let's go to the first episode, which is Assassination Time, where they kind of set everything up. It's a bit wordy. It's a bit heavy on dialogue. It's a bit heavy on exposition. It's the first episode for a very strange show. I'm willing to let that one. I'm willing to let them have the first one, especially since the second episode. This is somewhat why I watched two of them, partially because they're short episodes. Partially why I watched two of them because I wanted to see like what it's like after the setup. The setup is a bit wordy, but at the same time, it does enough interesting and funny and kind of cool, and it is pretty funny to kind of keep you entertained while it's explaining all this. And not to mention the fact that at the very end, when Koro kind of snapped when the guys got Nagisa to like do the suicide bomber trick, and it didn't work, obviously. And he kind of turned black and just turned into this like demonic thing. His emotions are always shown by what color his skin is. Like when he's feeling arrogant, he has like green stripes, and when they answer something right, his face has like a circle on it. When they answer something wrong, he has like a purple X on his face. When he gets tired, he turns pink. Like weird little stuff like that. But he turns just completely black, just rips off all the nameplates, just like, if you try to hurt each other again, I made a promise that I wouldn't kill any of you. And then he just brings like the nameplates off everybody's house and just like, if you do that again, I will kill everybody you love. I will literally destroy every living creature on this planet, except for you, because I promised. He's kind of like this, how do I explain this? It's very similar to Monokuma, except you get the feeling that this guy's not evil. It's just more like how the situation is. Like he's kind of like in the second episode, he just kind of Nagase asks him like, why are you trying so hard and doing such a good job at teaching us and keeping us trying to make us all good at this when you're just gonna blow up? Like he's teaching them about regular stuff too, not just assassination. But I don't think he actually gets that much into assassination now that I'm thinking about it. No, he's not really. But he's just teaching them really well, and he's helping out the students with their sport lives. Like he helped a kid become a better pitcher, and like these little things. It's interesting that his response when Nagase asked him about that was just kind of this general, well, yeah, I am going to blow the planet up, but my main objective is trying to teach you guys. And they did show like a flashback of him, or what I assume is him, holding what looks like this dying woman, and she's saying like, teach the kids, make sure they're okay. Make sure they grow up well or whatever. And it just seems very interesting that, like, I don't know I don't know what's going to happen exactly. Again, I have a couple of ideas of what could happen. I just mentioned a couple. So I'm very intrigued where it's going to go. I do feel like there have been a couple of smaller, little forced moments. Nothing drastic, and it doesn't ruin the show. But I think it was when Koro was talking to the baseball kid. Again, the only kid whose name I remember is Nagisa. Koro was talking to him, and he's just like, if you try to pitch this way that you've been trying to pitch, nothing's going to happen. It's not going to work. Nagisa just freaks out on him for a second. Is like, I know we're not the best students, but you can't just give up like this. Like, keep doing it and keep whatever. Excuse me. And gets flat out angry at Koro Sensei for saying that. Now, it's interesting. Well, not interesting. What I didn't like about that was the fact that it felt very forced and maybe not outside of Nagasa's character, but it felt very strange. Again, I'm 2 episodes in and I know nothing else about the series. Like, that's kind of the thing with this, is I don't really know what's going to happen here. I am going through the first season, at first at least. I'm going to go through more as it goes, but I don't know. This show seems very strange. It seems like it's a very good concept. I need to watch more. That's kind of the thing is, I've only seen 2. I get the feeling this is going to be one of those series. This is going to be like, one second. Excuse me. This is going to be like, this isn't going to be like, American Horror Story, where each episode was kind of its own thing and it would have a lot of depth. Again, these are only like 21 episode minute shows. 21 episode minutes. I almost said that. I did say that. 21-minute episodes. They're very short, they're very simple, which I'm not used to. So that might say something there. But it is very compact. It does the job, but again, it feels very odd. I get the feeling that this is going to be, like I was saying, this isn't going to be something that's very compact into one episode. It's going to be something that, as you're watching it, it's going to feel complete when you're done. But it almost feels like I stopped halfway through an episode and just started doing one of these. So maybe that should say for what the show's like. The season is only about 12 episodes. I would say binge a season and then consider it. Like if you got a couple hours and it's got nothing better to do, just go through it that way. But as of right now, as of so far, it's very good. It's quite good. It's got some issues, but I'm enjoying it. We're going to see how the rest of it goes. Actually, one other thing I want to bring up, whenever it comes to English dubs, because I am watching the dub, I'm always very kind of careful to watch and see what voice actors are in it, if I recognize anybody. And I don't recognize any voices. I will also say that Koro Sensei's voice screwed me up at first because I was not expecting that voice to come out of him. It does work, though. After a little bit, you start hearing it and you're just like, okay, that fits him. And the voice acting is very good. When he turns black, he turns into like the savage beast. That actually sounded kind of cool. That sounded really cool. Just from that kind of perspective, at least. So the voice acting's really good. Again, Nagisa's. If it turns out Nagisa is not a girl, I'll eat my hat. Seriously, something. Mark my words on that. But the voice acting is quite good. Again, not what you'd expect at first, but it does work. So far, at least. But I will say the other thing I want to comment on before I end this, and I don't know what I'm going to do next, actually. I don't think I'm going to binge another episode or something like that. I'll save that for another day. But before I am done with this video, I want to bring up one other thing, which is the opening and the ending. One of the main reasons why I got into this show was the opening, which was the third opening, which is a cover of which was done by Nate Wants to Battle, and it's great opening. Question, great theme. This one, however, I'll say the opening is okay in points and downright cringeworthy in others. Especially since, like, the song is okay. Not great, a little off in points, but it's okay. However, the problem isn't so much the song as it is the second it starts to kick into high gear, you just see this cheesy, like, it's all the main character, the students in the class jumping up and down, shaking their fist, and it looks so stupid. It looks so dumb. Again, it's Japan. They're a little different when it comes to these types of things. But the second I saw that, I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's cheesy. And I can't quite listen to the theme without that image popping in my head. It just looks off to me. But it's not awful. It's not like, it's not like ear grating or anything like that. It's just weird. That being said, the ending is quite beautiful, actually. It's actually quite good. Not amazing, but good. So I give the ending a listen. The opening, again, I can't quite get past that, but that might just be me. But so far, I am enjoying this. The voice acting's good. The animation's standard. I wouldn't say great, but it's good. There's not really that much of a soundtrack other than the opening and ending, and I just said what I thought of that. The story, again, the story is the big hook because it's such a weird story. And if you're curious if you hear that and you go, I'm curious where this want to go, I'd recommend it so far. Now, where the ending goes is where the problems might start to click, because I get this is, again, much like Danganronpa, this kind of depends on the ending. I do know that a lot of people didn't like the ending to the original Danganronpa. I liked it. I thought it did work. The fact that it was well, no, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to spoil that just in case anybody was looking about watching that. But it's gonna depend a lot on that. But right now, so far so good. So I will throw this up. Again, I'm trying to get more stuff on my site. I'm actually working on the top 8 games of 2016. I usually do a 10. I couldn't force 2 more onto there. It was that kind of year. Anyway, I am working for more stuff on my blog, and I'm trying to get stuff back up. I'm trying to get 2016 the hell out of my system. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you for the second part of this, whatever the hell I'm doing. I'll see you for my review, my first reaction of episodes. I'm probably going to do 3 and 4 once. If I think there's enough to say on 3, I might just do 3, but possibly 3 and 4. But anyway, adios.